All right. Thanks, everybody. So if you have your block and strap around, you may not end up needing that, but I'm going to demonstrate some things for you because we're going to focus. We'll be working still our entire body and our legs and stuff, but we're really going to focus on the upper back and the neck and the shoulders. So the movements are small, and I just want to demonstrate so you don't have to look so much once we get started. We've done all of them before. So, hi, Stacia. So you will know them. One of the things that we're going to do is we'll be standing with our legs apart like we have done in the past with our arms out. We take this hand, let's say we have our right hand, and we turn it in the direction of our chest. And we'll go through all of these. And we set that hand on the floor or perhaps on a block if you prefer it to be higher. You can bend your knees because you can work on stretching the legs, but we're really focused on the upper back. So your hand is in the direction of your chest, and you're going to look down at the floor. So your shoulders in an internal rotation here. And then we're going to reach over our head. Remember this one? And if possible, you look up at your fingertips. And then you exhale and follow the fingertips all the way back. And then we inhale and we lift up. So then the next hand will come down, and we have the hand on the floor turning the direction of our chest. And then we reach over our head, follow our fingertips back, and we come back up. So we'll be working through a few of those, which are working all the upper neck and shoulders. And then we're going to do, probably before we even do that one, we're going to do this one. And you have the option of a block on the side of your foot or your hand all the way down. So first I'll show you from a forward movement. We come down as we always do, squatting and working through the legs, trying to drop the buttocks. And through parallel, set our hand either on a block or on the floor. Let our head drop completely in, and then we inhale and we pull the shoulder back, lift and extend, and at the very end, lift your chin. And then we exhale and we open all that upper back again. Then as we inhale, we lift parallel and we come all the way back up. And we'll work one side first, and then we'll go to the other side. So I'm going to show you in this direction. As we come down, the deeper you can drop your hips, the more you work into the legs. But whatever it is for you, hand will come down to the floor or a block, rounding in, lifting, at the very end, pulling the chin up and pulling the shoulder, this right shoulder is pulling back. And then you come back in. And then we come all the way up. So we'll do that a few times. We're also going to do this one where we're down on our knees. In fact, we'll probably begin with this one before we get to those. So we've done this before as well. You have one hand on your low back. The arm comes up. Now this hand, when we come down, we're taking this hand and swinging it out and turning the palm up. So you can see how I'm rotating my shoulder. I am turning that palm up. And if you have any range of motion issues, you just deal with the way you can. I turn away from that arm, set it on my low back, and I'm putting my cheek on the floor, keeping my hips higher than my waist, or higher, my buttocks higher than my hips, I should say. And then I'm looking at this left hand and I swing it out. As I come up, I rotate it palm up and all the way back up. Okay, so as I come down, rotate and then come down, cheek. So you can also use your block underneath your cheek and then come back up. Okay, now I know you're going, oh my God, how many of these are we going to do? We're going to be coming on our back. We've done this one before, but it's quite a while ago. We're going to have our hands on our low back, just like we do for Cobra. But what I want you to think about is we're going to be alternating what leg we lift up. And it's not you don't want to lift up and like your hip comes out of place. You're keeping the hip bones down, the tailbone dropped, and you're just lifting the leg as high as you can to keep that action with the balanced hip bone or balanced hips. What we're going to be doing though is lifting our chest. If we swing the left arm out, we're going to then lift the right leg. And then we bring that down. And we will first lift the chest because otherwise you won't be able to lift your chest, and then the leg. Okay. Now, lastly, We just did this one not too long ago. This one really, the one I'm about to show you, really helps separate the shoulder blade area and contract and expand through that area. So this is the one where we tuck our leg up by our hip if your knee lets you. Otherwise, your leg's going to be back, your foot's going to be down in a straighter position. So we reach up and we're going to use this hand to balance. So we lean to that side and our elbow comes, we soften through our knee, and the elbow comes down by the knee and you curl in and drop your head. And this elbow is tucked right next to the leg. And then you inhale and come back up. So I'm going to show you from a side view. As you take that exhalation, I'm leaning to the right. My elbow is coming down to the inside of the knee or toward the groin, and I'm rounding over and leaning to the right. And then I come back up. Now, lastly, we will come down and you'll have the option to just pause here and breathe, or bring your arm around your leg, turn your palm up, that rotates your shoulder, bend your elbow, and reach back and grab with the other hand. So from a back view, you're in this position. And your head will be down. Now, some of you won't be able to do that, so you can take your strap, come down, hang onto your strap, and then just try to walk your hands as close as your body will let you. Or you can skip that one altogether if you prefer. So when we get to that point, you'll know if you want to skip it or not. I think the rest of it, you pretty much know. So thanks for letting me do the demo. I think it's just easier than when you're in the midst of it. So now it's time for us to just get centered, because obviously we want to be connected with the breath in a very soothing way while we're doing this. So I'm just going to invite you to go ahead and find that comfortable place. Take whatever movement that you need. And as you just begin to settle in there, I really invite you to feel the temperature of your room on your skin. Notice any sounds in the room. And just let yourself bring your awareness now into the body. So if you will take your conscious attention and place it at the base of your head and your neck. Let your head come into some parallel place if you're seated. Otherwise, allow your chin to come right in toward the throat if you're on your back. So you can let the neck muscles go. Feel your shoulders drop back and down. And just set the intention as we move through this practice that you move practicing with ahimsa, non-harm. Let the breath be your guide. And just bring your awareness down to your heart center. And I invite you, as you take an inhalation, to just breathe in the word peace. And as you exhale, just gently soften and feel yourself let go. Just try to breathe in the feeling of peace. And each exhalation, just let anything that's been weighing on you, busyness, work, whatever it might be, just let it gently fall away. And let's just move our awareness down to our navel. And if you haven't started your diaphragmatic breath, just go ahead and begin doing that. Feeling the navel moving in toward the spine as you take your exhalations. And as you inhale, allowing the belly just to release back out. Feel yourself soften. Let yourself just float with the breath versus pushing the breath. Feel your hips softly let go. And let your awareness just melt down through the legs, checking in with your knees, your ankles, tops of your feet, your toes. And let's just invite our breath to deepen and move into Dirshwasam. So if you take a nice slow exhalation, and on your next inhale, feel the belly expand out, but then let the breath lift up into the rib cage and collarbone area. And then notice the wave of the breath rolling back down. Feel yourself letting go. And then notice the navel drawing in. And just let yourself float into the wave-like effect of your breath. And just notice how that breath is passing over the back of your throat. Go ahead and create your Ujjayi breath, that ocean sound in the back of your throat. Or silently say Sa with each inhale, Ha with each exhale. As you're creating that mind-body breath awareness, you're beginning to soften through and balance that nervous system. And let's just work through a few rounds of Nadi Shodhana. So if you take a nice slow exhalation and just close off your right nostril with your right thumb, and slowly inhale through that left nostril only. And at the end of your inhalation, just close off with your ring finger and slowly exhale out the right nostril. Whenever you feel ready, let yourself just breathe back in through your right nostril. You'll, of course, close off with your thumb and exhale out the left nostril to complete your round. And whenever you feel ready, just start up again. See if you can set the intention to just feel the coolness in the back of the nasal passage and that gentle pause of your breath. And as you take your exhalation, see if you can notice the gentle pause of your breath. And I invite you, when you end up taking your exhalation out your left nostril the next time, so take your time wherever you are on that round. When you get to that left nostril, just float your hand down and let go of any control of your breath. Just take a moment just to pause and witness and feel. Notice any after effects of your pranayama. And I'm just going to invite those of you that are on your back, if you'll take your time to join those of us seated. Find that place where you can feel your shoulders stacked over your hips. We're going to reach our arms out and just feel the middle fingertips touching the floor, just very lightly. And feel your chest lifted. Let your chin soften to parallel. So I'm just going to invite you to take a nice slow exhalation. Just inhale and reach your arms up and over your head. And as you exhale, draw the hands down to your heart center. So just take your time. You'll pause at your heart center once you get there. Let your head soften in so you can just let the back of the neck release here. All the muscles that are right down through the back of the neck and into the upper back. Keep your shoulders lifted so your chest doesn't collapse here. Let your breath come all the way up towards your collarbones. So I'm going to invite you to take a nice full inhalation. When you go to exhale, push your hands out in front of you and bring the back of the wrist together and pull your belly into that C shape, pulling the shoulder blades nicely apart. And then as you inhale, flex your wrist, tilt your pelvis forward, and open the heart center and flex those wrists fully. As soon as you're ready to exhale, make sure the back of the wrists start to come together. You're gently pulling the shoulder blades apart as you make that C shape, pull the belly in. Maybe a gentle pause of your breath at the end of each exhale and at the end of each inhalation. Just let the breath create the movement. You're warming up all of the core and the spine, but really emphasizing through the shoulders and the neck and the upper back. When you go to take your next exhalation, I invite you to let yourself have your pause and then bring your hands on down to the floor. Take a minute just to walk over your legs if you can. Just to some comfortable place. Let your hands extend out to whatever that is for you. Maybe the head drops in, maybe not. Let your breath lift right up if you can and in between the shoulder blades when you take that inhalation. And as you exhale, just hollow out your belly. After you take your next exhalation, just gently walk yourself back. We're going to stand up on our knees once you get yourself back. So if you need extra padding underneath your knees, a thin blanket or something under there, go right ahead and take your time. You don't want it too thick or you'll lose your balance. You might decide that you prefer a block here because you might feel like, the floor is too far down for you to put your cheek on. Whatever you need, take your left hand to your low back and just bring your right arm up. So let's take a deep breath in here. As we go to exhale, we're going to come on down. We're going to swing this right arm out and turn the palm up, and we're going to turn away from the right arm and put our right cheek down on the floor. Now we're looking at our left arm. We're going to swing the left arm out, turn the palm up as we start to stand, and bring the arm up. So now we have the left arm up and we're standing on our knee. Good. You got it. Now take another deep breath in and you'll exhale and come on down. So you're letting the buttocks come back, but you're letting all the weight stay in your legs, not in your cheek or your neck. And then you're going to just alternate what arm you're bringing up based on how you're turning your head. Whatever one it's looking at is the next arm that's going to come up. And just be aware of rotating the palm up and down. And of course, I know some of you have shoulder rotation issues, so just do the best you can with what your range is here. The next time that you come down and put your cheek on the floor, slide into a child's pose. Let your arms come down alongside your body if you're okay with that, and then let your forehead come down toward the floor and soften your shoulders forward. If that's not okay, just stack your fists underneath your forehead. Take full breath. See if you can feel the breath just separate the shoulder blades a bit. Yet find yourself softening where you're not forcing. So we'll take one more full inhalation. When you're ready to exhale, come on up into a standing position with your feet wide apart and the toes turned out. Once you get up there, just gently exhale into one leg and let yourself inhale on over into the other. You can let your head hang down. In fact, I encourage you, for those who can, to let your head just freely turn from side to side. This is a great place to take, there's no gravity coming down onto the neck here. And then just feel into your hips, your inner thighs, your ankles, your knees. Then if you'll come to the center of your body, pick up your toes and rotate them in until your baby toe and your heel are in line with one another. And then see if you can gently fold in towards your legs. Let your hands come to wherever is comfortable for you. If you need those knees to be bent to be comfortable in your back, please go ahead and bend them. And maybe you're going to want to bend and straighten a couple of times if you're feeling particularly tight, to let the blood flow come in to the hamstring, even more so in the back of the knees. Take an inhalation, bringing your awareness up from the feet to the tailbone with a slight internal rotation of your legs, and then exhale and soften right down the spine like a waterfall to the crown of your head. Take another exhalation, and then I'm going to invite you to bring your hands to your waist. And we're going to soften through our knee and lift our body parallel to the floor. Let the elbows draw up toward the ceiling. Nice soft knees here. Now, lift the chest, keep the elbows back, let your chin fall in towards your chest here, leaving the head down for a moment. Step your feet into Uttanasana feet, the hip bone distance apart. Then just close your eyes. Let your arms come down by your side with your palms out. When you feel ready, just slowly lift your head so that you're standing in your Uttanasana. Let your eyes close, soften through your feet. Just feel the energy in your body. Exhaling all the way down to the feet and just softening through your toes. So now we're going to open our eyes, and we're going to start that one where we're going to squat down and leave our hand down by the side of the body, lift halfway up with our chest, fold back in, the one I demonstrated to you. So if you think you want to block on the side of your right foot, then you're going to set it there. We're going to take our left hand just to our waist. We'll inhale and reach that right arm up. As we exhale, we're going to squat down, lowering those hips as best we can until our right hand is on the floor or the block and your head drops in. Inhale, partway up, pull the shoulders back and away, back and down, I should say, and exhale back in. And when you're ready, inhale and extend that arm parallel, lift from your chest, press through your heels, and come all the way back up again. When you're ready, you're going to exhale back down. So just follow your rhythm of breath. Sorry, I got to get my clip in my hair. Let the hand come down, lift part way up, and round back in. Feel the opening each time you round. And then inhale, lifting the chest, arm to the ear, push through your heels. Really feel the work in the legs here at the same time. And just come back down. You can put your hand right on your left hand on your low back if you would like. It's a little bit easier than keeping it at the waist. Pull the right shoulder down each time you lift part way up. Once you come to standing, bring that right hand down to your low back. Move your block if you're using a block, and inhale and lift your left arm up. So now you've got that left arm lifted. We'll take a deep breath in whenever you feel ready. Exhale down, squatting as deeply as you feel comfortable. The deeper as far as working the legs. Inhale part way up and let yourself exhale back in. And then, of course, you'll extend the arm, lifting the arm by the ear as you come on up. So So just find your rhythm of breath. You can probably feel a little bit of that almost burning feeling in your legs from squatting so many times now. We're going to go down one more time. When you end up coming up your next time, just find your Tadasana. Take your time. Close your eyes when you get there. Turn your palms out for a moment just so you can feel your shoulder blades softly press towards your heart center. Let your chin be parallel. And then just allow your palms to fall in toward the body, but keeping the heart center lifted. As you exhale your awareness down to your feet, just lift up on your toes and soften the toes. And feel the energy in your body. Let go of any residual tension. Now we're going to open our eyes, and this time we're going to step the feet wide apart. This is what we were demonstrating, where we're going to be setting. We'll start with our right hand down on the floor or on the block. So if you want your block in front of you, you can put that block down. And if you get dizzy turning your head, because some people have inner ear stuff, then you can skip the turning of the head if that feels like too much. So let's take our arms out. Take a deep breath in. We're going to take our right hand and bring it down to the floor with the fingertips turned in the direction of our chest. Now inhale and reach your left arm over your head. Maybe you can look up at the fingertips. So you're reaching toward your top of your head. You're going to exhale back toward the ceiling and look up there if you can. And then you'll inhale and you'll come up to standing. Good. Got that? So take a deep breath in. We'll exhale, the left hand comes down. We inhale the right arm over our head and see if we can look at our fingertips. We exhale and follow the fingertips back to the ceiling. And then we inhale back to standing. Exhale, the right hand comes down. Fingertips are toward the chest. When you're ready, inhale over your head, maybe turning toward the fingertips. Exhale, maybe following the fingertips back. And then your inhale will bring you back up. And again, exhaling down. Your inhale reaches over your head as best you can. Your weight is staying in your feet, exhaling back. So you're not letting a lot of the weight come into your hand. There'll be some, but not much. You're going to do that again. Exhaling down. Inhale over. Exhaling back. Inhale up. So one more. When you finish this last one and you come to standing, I invite you to bring your feet together into your Uttanasana. Stand at the end of your mat and find that Uttanasana. Let your arms come down by your side. Roll the shoulders back. You can either turn the palms out or toward the body. Let your chin be parallel and then just pause there. Exhaling all the way down to your feet. Feel as you take your inhalation back up the body, feel the blood flow and the energy in your upper back, neck, shoulders. And you might even feel it through your hamstrings. Now if you'll take an exhalation, just open your eyes. We're going to inhale our arms up and over our head. And we'll swan dive right over those legs. Feel free to bend your knees. You're going to come all the way down, and then you're going to come part way up, just enough to pull those shoulders back, chin into the throat. And let yourself fold back in and open the shoulder blades by curling the elbows in. Now come all the way up. Remember your bandhas, or bend the knees as well. For those that need that, you're going to come back to your heart center. We're going to inhale back up again. Take your time. This time we're going to add on. We're going to swan dive down. We'll come part way up when you're ready, and then you're going to step back into a downward dog. And if you're not going to do a down dog, you can certainly slide into an extended child's pose. I'm going to invite you to check that your feet are hip bone distance apart, your fingers are spread wide. And we're just going to take a nice slow exhalation here, pulling the belly firmly in. And then we're going to inhale our knees to the floor. And we're going to ribbon through table. Belly drops, we're going to contract the upper back, and at the end, we'll lift our chin. And then we're going to tuck our toes under, press our hips back toward the heels, and exhale back and into a downward dog. Now you can continue that way, or we're going to inhale onto our knees and pull all the way forward for a modified upward dog. We pull the chest through the arms, we press down, we lift, stretching through the front of the body, and then we exhale back and into downward dog. So choose whether you want to do table or whether you want to do a modified upward dog, and just move with your rhythm of breath. Feel each part of your feet as you curl through the toes. Feel yourself pressing down into your hands as you lift the chest. Soften the shoulders away from your ears as you come into your downward dog. Now, when you come back into your down dog this next time, just pause there. Feet are hip bone distance apart, fingers are spread wide, feeling the ball mount of the pointer finger and the thumb with a slight internal rotation of your inner thighs. So we're going to take another exhalation. We're going to inhale forward into plank and then lower onto our bellies. This is where we're going to do that cobra modification that I demonstrated for you. So what I'm going to invite you to do, set your left cheek on the floor and bring both of your hands to your low back with the palms up. Now just resting the cheek there, drop your tailbone down. Notice how as soon as you drop your tailbone down between your legs, you take some of the arch out of your back. Now just keeping your body, your upper body where it is, lift your right leg up off the floor, keeping the hip bones down, and then set that foot down, and then lift your left one up and set that down. Now as you inhale, lift your chest, pull your elbows back, and swing your right arm in front of you, and now lift your left leg. As you exhale, lower the leg, turn your head towards your left shoulder as your right hand comes back down. Now inhale, lift your left arm up as you lift your chest, and then at the end, lift your right leg. As you exhale, lower the leg, swing the arm back, and set your left cheek on the mat. Inhale and lift your chest, reaching the right arm up if you can. If you can't lift the arm, just lift the chest and leave the arm at your low back. Your left leg is raised, and then you're going to lower back down. We'll do that again. Lifting the chest, swing the arm first, and then the opposite leg. So we're not only working through the upper back, neck and shoulders, we're working all the muscles down through the back and into the glutes. These are simple but challenging. Now I can see my grandbaby trying to do her tummy time to develop those muscles. I sympathize for her now. As you come down the next time, I'm going to invite you to pause there. Let your arms just fall on the side of the body and let your shoulders roll forward. And take full deep breaths here and really try to soften, even allow your heels to rotate out to the outside of your mat so you're pigeon-toed, letting the pelvic area expand. Big belly breaths that move up into the low back. Take one more full inhale, and as you go to exhale, roll onto your back. When you get on your back, bring both of your knees into your chest. Let your arms come out into a T shape. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower your legs to the left and turn your head to the right. You're not going to touch the floor, and then you'll inhale back to the center. And then we're going to exhale over to the right side, turning the head to the left. Now, if you'll come back to the center, I invite you to hold your right knee into your chest, just with the strength of your core, and extend your left leg straight out on the floor. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. I'm going to ask you to try to keep your right shoulder down on the floor. Take a deep breath in and exhale and cross over the body. Really press the right shoulder down and turn your head to the right. And then inhale back to the center. And again, activate your core, exhale and cross, turning the head. So we're not only working through this upper back, you can feel it through your outer hip on this right side. When you come over your next time to exhale, we're going to hold that leg across the body by letting our left hand rest down. I want you to be in a place where you can firmly feel your right shoulder is down on the floor. So if you have to back out of it a little bit to keep your right shoulder down, then do that. So we're going to lift our right arm until it's straight up out of our shoulder if possible. Your head right here is turned toward the ceiling. So you've got all this lateral stretch and you're contracting the muscles between your right ear and your right shoulder. So let's take a deep breath in here. As we go to exhale, let's slide the hand down to a 9 o'clock position and turn our palm down and continue to a 6 o'clock position. And by that time, we're turning our head completely toward the left shoulder, pushing the right shoulder down and away from our right ear. And then you're going to inhale back up and turn your palm up as you rotate the head back to the center. Lift the arm all the way up to that 12 o'clock position. And when you're ready, exhale back down. You're rotating the hand as you turn the head in the direction of your knees, and you bring the hand all the way down to that 6 o'clock position, pushing the right shoulder down and away from the right ear. So this is expanding and contracting all of the muscles, not only in the neck, but through the scapula area, into the lats, all the muscles. There's many, many small little muscle groups in our upper back, neck, and shoulders. When you end up coming down to your 6 o'clock position the next time, your head is turned toward the left. Pause there. I want you to, each time you take an exhalation, try to push your right shoulder down and away from your right ear. And then as you inhale, just gently soften. And then as you exhale, gently push it down and away from your right ear. You're going to do one more like that. And after you do that, just roll onto your back. Hold that right knee into your chest. Just pausing there. I invite you, as you're just holding that leg in, if you can straighten your right leg and hold onto the back of the leg or hold onto the calf. Some of you might have the flexibility to hold onto the foot and just stretch through that hamstring, whatever it is for you. Next time you go to exhale, just bend that knee. We're going to bring our left leg up. Make sure that your hips and your shoulders are in line with one another, and then extend your right leg straight out and let your arms come out into a T shape as you hold your left knee in. So same thing, feel yourself kind of be aware of the left shoulder staying down on the floor. Take a deep breath in. As soon as you're ready to exhale, cross over and just turn your head toward that left shoulder and move in and out of that with complete awareness of the head rotating back to the center and turning as you cross the knee. And that shoulder down. Now, as you come across this next time, you're going to pause there and allow your right hand just to hold that leg in place. Once you feel balanced there, just extend now your left arm straight up for those who can get to that straight up position. Your head is turned toward the ceiling. Inhale here and just really reach. And as you exhale, slide your hand along the floor until you get to 3 o'clock. Turn the palm down so your shoulder rotates. Pick up your head, turn it in the direction of your knees. Push the left shoulder away from your left ear. And when you're ready, inhale back up. Palm comes up, head comes to center, arm comes as high up, straight up out of the shoulder as your body lets you. And then come back down. Really feel yourself push your right shoulder down your left shoulder down and away from your ear. And just notice this side compared to the other side. I invite you, when you come down for your exhalation, where your hand's at that 6 o'clock position, to pause there. Head's turned toward the knees. Exhale. See if you can move that left shoulder down and away from your left ear, and then softly let go. I have a lot more crunching going on this side of my body when I do that. Now, when you go to take your next exhalation, just let yourself roll onto your back. Hold your left knee into your chest. And then those of you who can straighten that leg, grab on the calf or the hamstring, wherever you are. Some of you will be the foot. You just breathe there. As you go to take your next exhale, just bend both of your knees into your chest. So we're going to roll to our side, come up into a seated position, and we'll do the one that I was demonstrating, which is the modification of Janu Shirshasana. So we're going to extend first our right leg out. Now this is where you may want to have the strap around you if you're going to try to wrap. We're going to have our right leg out, and we're going to take our left heel and bring it toward the buttocks, being mindful of your knee. Now, the distance that your foot is to your inner thigh is maybe a fist difference, so it's not out to the side. You're trying to keep it in if you can, okay? And that all depends on your flexibility here. So this right hand's just over here to balance us. And for just a second, lean to the right and bend your right knee. Just lean over to that side. That's where you're going to be heading when we go. So now let's lift our left arm up. So we're going to take a deep breath in. As we exhale, lean to the right, bring that elbow to the inner thigh area above the knee, and let yourself round in. And then inhale and come back and sit on both of your sit bones again as you reach that arm up. Good. Now as you exhale, lean over. Just find your rhythm of breath. You have to soften your right elbow a little bit so you're not stiff as you're leaning to the right. Now, as you come down this next time, you got your knee bent of the right leg, your elbow is tucked close into the inner thigh. You can breathe right here. You're pulling the scapula away from the spine just in this position. But those of you who can reach across the body or across your left leg, do that and see if you can then rotate your arm so your palm is up and bend at the elbow. And you can either grab your strap or you can reach back and grab onto your hand, depending on your flexibility. Just let your head drop in and breathe here. So obviously when you're wrapping like this, you're really drawing that scapula away from the spine. You're stretching through the muscles in that upper back. Breathe right up into that upper back as best you can. And we're not only is it stretching through the upper back, it's stretching all the way down into the low back. We're going to take one more exhalation here, then gently let go if you are gripping, and come up to a seated position. So I'm going to keep my back to you so you can see it from this angle. We're going to extend the left leg out, bring the right leg up. Left hand is to the outside of the body, right arm is up. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bend your knee, come over toward the inner thigh, let yourself lean in, and then come back up. So each time we want to soften. The reason we're bending our knee and softening instead of keeping it straight is it allows us to round in more. It takes the hamstring out of the equation so that the emphasis comes into our back. So now when you come down this next time, again, you can just pause with the elbow near your body, let your head drop in and breathe there. Those of you that are wrapping, reach your arm out, turn your palm up, your right arm's coming across the right leg, bend at the elbow, grab your strap if that's what you're going to do, or reach back and grab your left arm and let your head come in. Obviously, remember, practicing a him saw is important. If it felt okay on one side, but you go to do it on the other side and it doesn't, then don't do that. Back out and find a place where you can just feel the stretch coming across the shoulder blade area. We're going to take one more full inhale. Let yourself have that exhalation. Take your time and just gently let go. So, before you come onto your back, I should have demonstrated this one. So if you want to just watch real quick, we're going to do bridge pose. We've done this before, but it was a long time ago. And what we're going to do is we find our bridge pose where our feet are hip bone distance apart. We tilt our pelvis back and tuck our shoulder blades underneath us like always. But we're going to have our hands with our elbows bent above our heart center, not above our head, but above our heart center. We're going to tilt our pelvis back and we ribbon up just like usual, but our arms don't go anywhere, right? So we're working the glutes, we're working the hamstring. But then as we go to exhale, we're going to pull our arms up, which is separating my shoulder blades. As I pull my belly in, I'm working my core. I keep pulling up, till my whole lower back comes down. And then I bend my elbows and I take a breath, adjust my feet again. And when you're ready, we'll lift back up. Okay. So go ahead and come onto your back. Check that your feet are hip bone distance apart. If possible, ankles are in line with your knees. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you and tilt your pelvis back. Feel the ball mounts of your big toes. Take your arms above your heart center. Take an exhalation. When you're ready to inhale, push through your heels and start riveting up. Your elbows are going to stay bent. Your arms aren't going anywhere right now. Once you come all the way up and you're ready to come down, as you exhale, Pretend like someone's pulling your hands up toward the ceiling. At the same time, you're pulling your body down toward the mat, all the way into the low back. Soon as your sacrum comes down, just soften your elbows, take an inhale, let yourself have an exhale, and whenever you're ready to inhale, you'll come back up again, pushing through the heels. Don't let your knees fall open, keep the elbows bent until you're ready to exhale back down, and then separate those shoulder blades. Keep in mind that your body starts to slide away from your feet, so you may have to readjust your feet. See if you might be able to do one more like that. When you finish your last one, take your time. I invite you to bring your knees into your chest, and then let the knees come to the outside of the body and lift your feet up into happy baby pose. Find your happy baby, whether it's grabbing the knees, the calves, the ankles, the feet. Let your chin soften in, and I invite you just to really rock from side to side. You can rock all the way over to your side, but let it be soft and gentle. Let your head fall in whatever direction feels okay. And you can continue here just rocking, or you can move into whatever position feels good to you. You can move into Apanasana, whatever you like to do to finish your practice. I'm going to adjust my lighting. You might want to put on your socks. It depends on your room. Have something underneath your head or your knees. Because as we've moved through the tension of the body, and the mind has been focused in the body, the mind is also relaxed and more open, just like the body is more relaxed and open. So I'm just going to encourage you here, if you'll attach to your breath, and I invite you to just take a 4-count inhale, pause for 2 counts, and then take a 4-count exhale and pause for 2 counts. 4-count inhale, pausing for 2, a 4-count exhale, pausing for 2. And just set the intention to let yourself soften. And the next time that you exhale, your 2-count pause, you're just going to let go of any control of your breath. And just begin to witness the wave-like effect of your breath as it gently rolls into the body. And it just very gently rolls back out. And just be willing. It's our willingness that allows ourselves to soften. And if thoughts pop into your mind, just let them float by like a cloud. And place your awareness on the wave-like effect of your breath, knowing that each exhalation allows you to become more and more calm, more and more at ease. As you begin to feel that feeling of greater ease, where there's nothing weighing on you, when that inhalation comes in, you'll feel this sense of expansion, a feeling of lightness. And I invite you just to lift your awareness to the space in between your eyebrows. Just feel that area soften and broaden. Sliding it down to the notch in your throat. And as you pause there, just allow your teeth to separate. So your tongue softly move away from the roof of your mouth. And just float your awareness to the tops of your shoulders and down to the palms of your hands. Letting the hands completely soften all the way down through each one of your fingertips and the tips of your thumbs. Pausing for a moment just to once again witness the ease that happens with each wave of exhalation. Just float your awareness up to the heart center. And let's let our conscious attention float with the wave-like effect of the inhalation. And each time you follow that inhalation, just imagine that it's like golden sunlight coming right through the heart center, radiating down to the soles of your feet and up to the crown of your head. Feeling that feeling of lightness and expansion that creates greater harmony. If you'll just float your awareness up to the crown of your head, when you're ready to follow an exhalation, just let a wave of harmony move down through the body, that it's harmonizing mentally, physically, and emotionally until it just washes right out the bottom of your feet. And you can just pause and take in the peace that resides here. It's always here, just waiting for us to pause. And I just invite you, as you begin to deepen your breath, to just scan the body a little bit. Feel your breath. And think of a word, something that you might need this week. Is it patience? Is it calm? Is it love or laughter? Just breathe in as you say that word. Feel the feeling of that word. And any time throughout your week, you can just pause. In fact, the more you do it, the more you'll feel the vibration of that feeling state. And then that perception starts to be able to see more of that. And as you're just resting there, either on your back or side, whatever works for you, I'm going to share in Mindful Reflections. I sent an article out about defensiveness. And I loved the quote that, or the statement that was made, that defensiveness is the beginning of all wars. And sometimes we become defensive and we don't even know why we're lashing out sometimes, or we feel completely out of control. And I just want to share this article from the Daily Om. It says, while there are many outlets for the feelings typically deemed positive, however, there are far fewer methods for constructively coping with anger, frustration, fear, sadness, or stress. Consequently, such feelings can cause us to believe that we are no longer in control of our emotional state. Retaking control of our emotions at their height can be difficult because our already negative feelings can convince us that others are deserving of our wrath. But if we consciously look for healthier ways of expressing what we feel, we can both safely dispel our pain and use the energy of that pain to add value to our lives. Anger and sadness, for example, can become the inspiration that induces us to dedicate ourselves to bringing about the change we wish to see in the world. If we act rather than react, we can become effective agents of positive transformation. And if we view fear as a signal that we need to re-examine our circumstances rather than a cue to flee, we may gain new and unexpected insights into our lives. And I really like that because it's like hitting the pause button. You know, there's a statement that there's always some type of commitment that to each complaint that we have. There's something that we care about behind a complaint, something that we care about when we're angry. And if we can learn to shift into what is it, we can hit the pause button and say, why am I angry? What is it I really care about? So that then you can look to start creating more of what you care about instead of staying in the anger. So there's always a learning to have the opportunity to not react, to not become defensive. But it's practice, right? Just like yoga is a practice. It's a practice. It's about the intention we set about how we want to live our life and how we want to be. So just something to think about. So when you're ready, if you can bring yourself back up into your centering position, just feel your shoulders stack back over your hips. Let them soften back and down. Let your chin soften in towards your throat. Just take a nice slow exhalation, noticing how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And if you would, let's just inhale and let those arms float on up till the hands come right together in Anjali Mudra. We'll lower down to the forehead to remind us of those mindful thoughts, at our mouth for mindful words, and our heart center for mindful actions. Namaste, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you.